What's up everyone, it's Arcadenaut here, and today we'll delve into the newest JRPG title, Reynatis. This review will cover the whole Reynatis experience. I played its Japanese version when it was released in late July, and its Western release is just around the corner on the 27th of September. Developed by FuRyu, a studio known for the titles like Caligula Effect and Monark, Reynatis brings together the intriguing fusion of modern-day Japan and dark fantasy elements. With a highly realistic recreation of Tokyo's Shibuya's district, Reynatis delivers a story steeped in themes of repression, freedom, and the age-old conflict between ordinary humans and wizards. However, keep in mind that Reynatis is around the same budget as Caligula Effect and Monark, or maybe a little bit more, so it might be the best to not expect a AAA JRPG experience. If you're ready, then let's delve into the dark corners of Shibuya. First of all, Reynatis is definitely recommended if you're a fan of Square Enix's The World Ends With You series or played M.E.A. The World Ends With You. Their concept and the atmosphere is similar, though Reynatis tends to take things more seriously in a more gritty way. Just like The World Ends With You, Reynatis blends a very real, bustling Shibuya city with elements of fantasy and magic. You will recognize iconic locations like Shibuya Scramble Crossing, 109 and Dogenzaka, all rendered in impressive detail. And all of these locations are really close to the original. Reynatis takes this familiar setting with a parallel world accessible only to wizards. Shibuya, for all its hustle and nightlife, is a secret battlefield where powerful wizards walk among ordinary people, hiding their true nature from ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, the daily life is threatened by the presence of rogue magic users and addicts of an illegal substance known as rubrum, a drug that turns humans into violent monsters. And the story of Reynatis revolves around two primary protagonists: Marin Kiritsumi, a rogue wizard, and Sari Nishijima, a disciplined officer of the M.E.A., an organization tasked with regulating the wizards. Marin and Nishijima symbolize the two sides of a coin, as Marin is a university student who seeks freedom by becoming the strongest wizard. At the same time, Nishijima tries to uphold the law, aiming to bring the order to a chaotic world while trying to protect the innocent and the reputation of M.E.A. As their opposing perspectives create the tension that drives the story forward, I must say I enjoyed the motive of Nishijima more. As an officer of M.E.A., Nishijima finds herself surrounded by the hierarchy of this law organization and more political twists. Marin's only motive is to be the strongest wizard to break away from the system. He is kinda your typical JRPG character who tries too hard to be stoic and maybe even too hard. As Reynatis explores the dynamic between those who suppress their powers and those who seek to unleash them, players see Nishijima's side first and then Marin's, and this changes by each chapter until their roads cross. And this dual protagonist system in Reynatis sets it apart from many other JRPGs. Controlling both Marin and Nishijima at different points in the game, seeing their contrasting viewpoints, also provide a fresh narrative dynamic. This system is particularly engaging because it allows for character growth throughout the game. Initially, Marin is a defiant, headstrong wizard who sees power as the only means to be his freedom. He is wary of alliances and prefers to fight alone, and of course viewing the M.E.A. as the enemy. Meanwhile, Nishijima is a law-abiding officer, deeply committed to upholding order in a chaotic world. Her loyalty to the M.E.A. is unwavering. She views rogue wizards like Marin as threat to the society. And of course, as you can guess, their motives and destinies align as the story progresses. By the story's midpoint, the bond between these two protagonists and their squads grow considerably as they realize their fight is against a larger, more insidious threat than each other. This character growth is subtle but satisfying, and it's also a testament to the game's well-crafted narrative. And as you continue your main story, the Guild, a rebellious faction of wizards who reject the laws imposed by the M.E.A, appears as they seek to overthrow the Order and unleash an age of wizards. As Marin's journey is one of rebellion, Nishijima's is more of an introspective one, growing as they face the moral dilemmas presented by their roles in this divided society. Reynatis has one of the most unique combat systems I've seen for a while. Still, this unique gameplay aspect doesn't mean it works perfectly. Reynatis' combat has two primary modes, and I believe calling those Suppression and Release might be correct. In Suppression mode, whether Marin or Nishijima, they hide their magical abilities and blend in with ordinary people, allowing them to explore without drawing attention. This mode is essential for navigating the world without causing chaos, still, it comes at a cost. Your character cannot attack in Suppression mode, making you vulnerable in combat. On the other hand, the real action starts in Release mode, where you unleash your magical powers and your mana point as you engage in combat. Release mode lets you make stunning, flashy attacks that include summoning weapons, creatures or magical blasts to decimate your enemies. That would remind you of the badges of The World Ends With You. But here's where things get interesting. Combat isn't just about spamming your most powerful abilities. Every attack and every flashy move you make, whether you hit your enemies or not, consume MP in the Release mode, and once you're out of mana points, you can't attack. Your characters turn back to their daily clothes, losing their wizard powers temporarily, and this is where Reynatis' unique gameplay mechanics come into play. Instead of waiting for your mana points to slowly regenerate, Reynatis expects you to perfect dodge your enemies' incoming attacks and steal their mana points to regain your wizard powers. When an enemy's attack is about to land, time slows down, allowing you to evade the strike and absorb the MP. This dynamic flow between Suppression and Release adds a layer to the gameplay, though I still find it pretty unorthodox. It's also not the most engaging gameplay style among the JRPGs. This combat system encourages a rhythm of action and restraint. You unleash your powers in Release mode and then strategically retreat into Suppression mode to recover and then wait for your enemies to attack. As this combat system may seem interesting, it also started to lose its charm around to 10 or to 15 hours, making you focus on increasing your maximum mana points and then doing the most damage before you run out of mana. As the main team of Reynatis consists of 3 playable characters, using one of the character's mana points and then changing to a different character to unleash all of your wizard powers might be the best approach if you ever get bored of this Release and Suppression modes. Between the battles, you will spend a lot of time exploring Shibuya, one of the aspects that Reynatis does brilliantly. The city is packed with side quests and hidden secrets, and the game encourages exploration by rewarding players who take the time to thoroughly explore their surroundings. You can wander through famous landmarks, interact with NPCs, and stumble upon magical graffiti, which provides new skills or items to aid you in combat and to customize your characters further. These graffiti are scattered throughout the city, often hidden in plain sight, and here's the most interesting part: recovering the magic from this graffiti or even battling against a rogue wizard or even a monster changes the atmosphere of Reynatis from head to toe. Another exciting aspect of exploration in Reynatis is the integration of game suppression and release mechanics into the world and exploration. Meaning that when you're in suppression mode, Marin can blend in with the ordinary citizens, have conversations and gather intel without causing a scene. However, once you switch to release mode, chaos emerges. The NPCs react with fear, and the rumors of a visit appearing spread quickly on social media, and the longer you stay in release mode and in open, the higher your name climbs on the trend ranking, putting stress on Marin and putting M.E.A on his tail. If you reach the top of the rankings, the M.E.A's elite squads will come after you, forcing you to flee or fight. And since Nishijima is an M.E.A officer, she does not have this issue. She can change into release mode as much as she wants, not putting her in danger at all. And this balance between the ordinary and the fantastical serves as the foundation for Reynatis' core theme. Wizards in this world are oppressed, forced to hide their abilities to survive, and if you like this concept, you would definitely enjoy what Reynatis offers. And of course, this gritty, realistic Shibuya is filled with side quests directly involved in game's core themes. Some quests have you helping fellow wizards being hunted. In contrast, others focus on rooting out corrupt M.E.A officers or disrupting the guild's plans. Completing these side quests often reduces the malice percentage surrounding Shibuya, a measure of public's hatred towards wizards, making your journey through Shibuya somewhat smoother. That being said, the side quests can sometimes feel a bit repetitive. Many involve traveling across the city, fetching items or defeating a specific enemy type. However, Reynatis makes this bearable with its fast travel system, allowing you to quickly hop between critical locations in Shibuya. A sense of satisfaction comes from reducing the malice and unlocking new areas or abilities as you complete these quests, so that means even the most mundane task serves a purpose. Reducing the malice allows you to access different kinds of graffiti and then of course customizing your characters further. Let's say if you only focus on the main story and ignore the side quests, you might have issues during the late game, especially with some of the late game bosses. And here, if you still only plan to follow the main story progression, then I would definitely advise you to stock up on many healing items to make your battles easier. Last but not least, Reynatis is quite charming regarding Shibuya's design and atmosphere. Still, it needs to catch up regarding the environment design in the dungeons or during some character designs. The game's art direction expertly blends modern-day Tokyo with dark fantasy elements, creating a unique atmosphere that feels grounded and otherworldly. However, I don't think I can say for the character designs. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand the budget of Reynatis and how they handled the production of this experience, but still, the character visuals are somewhat raw. And kinda made me wonder how the art design would have been turned out to be if they also had the similar art design to M.E.A The World Ends With You. Although Shibuya's atmosphere and its level design seem flawless, the lack of design variety can also easily be felt. But again, Reynatis is a bold and ambitious JRPG that successfully blends modern-day realism with dark fantasy elements and would definitely entertain you if you are looking for a new wave of JRPG. It took me around 20 hours to complete its side quests and finish the main story. Despite its flaws and issues, well, I still consider as a vast improvement compared to FuRyu's other titles like Caligula Effect and Monark. But if I were to be honest, if you still haven't played M.E.A The World Ends With You, I recommend you to play that first. While it may not have the polish of a AAA JRPG, it delivers a unique experience with its dual protagonist system and dynamic combat mechanics. Fans of The World Ends With You will appreciate its similar concept, though with a grimmer tone, while JRPG veterans may find the combat and the exploration refreshing despite some repetitive elements. Reynatis excels in atmosphere, storytelling, and capturing the struggle between the repression and freedom, making it a memorable experience even if it doesn't reach the heights of a bigger budget titles. As always, thank you for watching today's video. Any humble support through Patreon and YouTube join is really appreciated, and I will see you soon in my next video.